Welcome to this week's video where we finally get the engine fully rebuilt, all timed up and everything. It's been a bit of a longer process than I was hoping, but as you can see, we're in the edit and that there looks like a nearly finished engine. Woohoo! Thought you might like to see this process of lapping a valve. So you get some compound on the valve itself, then use the tool that is older than me to spin the valves into the valve seats, and it just gradually grinds them smooth and mates the surfaces together so you get no air leaks or liquid leaks and you get good compression. All you're doing is spinning the valve until you hear the sound change. At first it sounds horrible like this, and then as it goes along it gets smoother and smoother and quieter, and then you've got a lapped valve. Right, that's the engine short block rebuilt, cylinder head rebuilt, cams on and appropriately timed to some degree. I've now got to actually properly time them, which is going to be tricky because my dial indicators have a magnetic base. This is all aluminium, so I might have to work something out. Probably drill some holes in a bit of steel and then bolt some steel into here. So yeah, this could be interesting. But yeah, this is now all ready to be timed up. Right, so this is the spring tensioner, and I believe it sits in just like that with probably these two bolts. What do you reckon? Looks about right. Right. So that's done. I'm scared, but all I have to do now is pull this pin. Because that pin, all that does is it releases this, which then stops this rattling around basically. It just pushes that and tensions the chain. So in theory, the engine is actually timed up. In theory. But it's technically not due to me using Piper cams. If I was using standard cams, then the engine is now fully timed up. I can bolt it all together and fire it up. But some silly sod decided to go slightly more advanced, trying to push for that 210 brake horsepower. So we'll pull that pin, put the front cover on, and then time it up. Rock and roll. No going back now. Right, so well, we're in, aren't we? I know, we need that one in before we put this on, don't we? Silly, silly, silly. That was close, wasn't it? And this is where I find out I should have painted more areas, like these bits here, because that's for mounting things that I'm not actually having on this engine, so yay. There's always one left over, isn't there? Right, 8mm. It's not, is it? It's 6. I don't know. Ow! My knees. My old man knees. There isn't always one left over, it goes just there. Ha! These bolts all go up to 8 foot-pounds, but it's not critical, therefore I'm doing it to roughly 8 based on what I know 12 is. So this is 8, give or take. Right. Next step is this, which has an insane torquing procedure, but hey ho. I'm not looking forward to this, I'm not going to lie. Right. Now, what did I say? Something stupid. 75 foot-pounds plus 90 degrees. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do 75 foot-pounds. Let alone the extra 90. Right, so what we have now is that pin, or bolt, whatever you want to call it, is now not quite locking this in place, but holding it in the right position. There is a little bit of wiggle room, which is fine. The crank is butted up against the pin there by rotating it from the flywheel bolts. The cams are locked into position. So I now just tighten that up, I guess. Okay. So now we need to go 90 degrees from there, which is fortunately straight down. Whether we can. Jesus! Ah! Whoa, we're gonna rock the engine over. Doesn't look like much, but that's the engine. Now we're going to do some very intricate timing stuff. And hope and pray, basically. Spot the elephant in the room here. Those vernier pulleys don't have bolts in them. Yeah, took me a while to notice that. And then they magically appear here. We're there. So we've got the degree wheel here, and a handy little bolt here for putting a bit of welding wire on to mark your top dead centre point. We've got a magnetic based dial indicator here. That's sat on the cam follower, essentially the bucket on top of the valve spring. And yeah, we've rotated round, and according to this fancy little installation guide from Piper. The full lift should be, for inlet, 109 degrees after top dead centre, and for exhaust, 112 degrees before top dead centre. And we've got it. Everything lines up. Who'd have thunk it? So yeah, the engine is rebuilt. I'm going to put the valve cover on, and because that's just going to protect things. I might put the water pump in. I think that wraps it up for this week. Engine is rebuilt. Got to put the sump on, flywheel, clutch. But other than that, I'll get around to that. Tighten up the top bolts, and then yeah, rock and roll. If you've enjoyed this one, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. So yeah, follow for the rest of the build, and yeah, we'll see you next week with who knows what. Looking forward to it. See ya.